Hey guys, this is Terry. I want to give everybody a quick update on what I've been up to for the last several weeks. I think on my last video, I had just got back from a friend's house that has a louver press, and he pressed some blanks for me to put in my roll pan. Well, I got those in. That's how they look. I'm happy with the way that turned out. It makes that area look a little more intentional and not so bare, so I'm happy with that. I think I'm done with the fabrication part of the roll pan. I'm okay with the way it looks. Originally, when I first started building this truck, my intention was not to try to get too street roddy with it. I wanted it to kind of look just like it did from the factory, only with some badass wheels on it. Originally I was going to do some bumperettes back here, or maybe another front bumper. I've seen that done before too, and keep the tailgate chains. Well, when I couldn't get over the hideousness of the gas tank and decided to go with a roll pan, and one of the reasons why I decided to go with a roll pan is I have a friend that has a 40 Ford pickup, and we did a roll pan for his. They actually manufacture a roll pan for his, and we installed it, and it did look really pretty good. The only difference in his roll pan and my roll pan is his license plate's going to be in the center of his, whereas I decided to go with the original, or more of an original type license plate mount. But anyway, his turned out looking really nice. So, and they didn't really make a roll pan for this year truck that I liked. So that's what drove me kind of fabricating my own, ordering something that gave me a good start and then modifying it from there. And then of course once the roll pan was done, I removed the tailgate chains, and we're full street rod back here now. One of the other things I've done is, since my last video, is went ahead and trimmed all this up in this area here and added 3 more mounting places to kind of help hold all that together, because this area here is actually still going to get the welting that goes between this and all along here. So I got that done. I did go ahead and get all the gauges in, and the control for the climate control is in. Really happy with the way it looks. I got everything in there that I wanted to get in there. I don't have a lot of real estate left, but you know, it is what it is. Originally, maybe last week or a week before, I had the entire interior out, including the shifter, which is still out, but I screwed the console in just to mock up kind of what was going to go on with that throttle pedal over there that I installed. While the interior was out, I went ahead and primed all of the lips where the aft and forward floor pans set in here, because I couldn't get to it later. So I did that, and then I went ahead and positioned all the floor pans and welded them all in. I did that to the aft one and the forward one, and just stitch welded in. What'll happen is after it's primed again, sanded and primed again, I'll seam seal this and then go ahead and go on with the paint process. I did go ahead and do the wings, what I call the wings on the floorboards. The area behind here is not very accessible once they're in, even if the cab's on its back. So I went ahead and did the priming on it underneath there, and I actually went ahead and seam sealed it, and you can kind of see what's going on there. I seam sealed everything that needed to be seam sealed underneath this, and then I went ahead and stitch welded it in. So it's one and done. Did that to the other side as well. Let's go to the other side. It's raining like none other outside right now. It's just pouring down rain. So anyway, here's the Speedway's Problem Solver throttle pedal. Works pretty good. I had to bend it probably 3 or 4 different ways to get it to where I could get full throttle and still clear carpet or whatever is going to go on the firewall. but we got that done. It's kind of just mocked up right now. That's why I got some stuff kind of spooled up. I actually cut an original GM cable to use with this, and I'll show you that in a minute. I did go ahead before this wing here went on. I went ahead and moved the rebent the brake pedal to move it over to give more clearance in here for the accelerator. And this here is actually the standoff for, like they came with in the Model A, and I used it. I didn't know if I'd use it or not, but I ordered it anyway, and I kind of figured I would. And here's what I had come up with on this deal. When you get in here, the way the throttle pedal is, and as high as it is, and as little a room as you have in here, when you would have to drive this and throttle it, your foot would have to be arched quite a ways back, and I thought that might get uncomfortable after a while. So I guess my goal was to kind of put this in front of the throttle so you can kind of rest the middle of your foot on it, and it'd be a lot more comfortable to meter the throttle. That's just my thought. This may move, it may not. I think it's going to be where it is. But that was the idea behind that, and I liked it even better when I realized that was actually a Model A part that I could use to do that. It's not in the right location for where a Model A would have it, but it's good enough for me. It does what it is supposed to do. I think it makes it a little more comfortable and safe to meter the throttle. But anyway, this is what the linkage and everything looks like on the block. This is actually off of a, I don't know, I went to the salvage yard and pulled it off like a 93 or 94 throttle body injected Chevrolet pickup, and then modified it to fit onto the intake that I have. Works pretty good. I like the way it looks. It'll be nice when it's all painted up. It actually picks up the kick down for the Turbo 350 transmission, which is just hanging down there right now, but it'll easily go in there. So yeah, I think that looks pretty good. I guess what's going to happen next is I got this stuff over here that I need to install. I'm kind of holding off on installing the brackets to mount the Mini Gen 2 heat and air conditioning box for the time being, because I'm waiting on some stuff I ordered this morning. I ordered a line kit, just a generic line kit that comes with some miscellaneous elbows and fittings and stuff like that. They're bead lock, so they'll have to be crimped. It comes with a couple, like 10 feet of hose of each, of 6, 8, and 10 hose. And I'm waiting on a bulkhead fitting that will get all my heat and air conditioning lines from the engine compartment into the passenger compartment. And I also broke down and ordered the actual tool that I can use to crimp those lines on here in my shop, instead of having to take them somewhere, since they have to be clocked a certain way, and I just didn't want to have to keep running back and forth to have that done. So I just bought the tool to do it. What'll happen is once I get that bulkhead fitting located where I want it, that'll kind of dictate what kind of happens on where all this other stuff here is going to go, because I don't really know yet. I don't want to have the bulkhead fitting come in over here and then have it immediately have all the ports like 3 inches away, because then I have issues with trying to get that hooked up. So I decided that I would wait until I actually have the bulkhead fitting where I wanted it, the dryer out there where it needs to be, the oil dipstick for the transmission where it needs to be, just to make sure I don't have any problems. I think once all this stuff starts to go in here, I think this may get to be where it may be kind of ugly appearance wise, so we may have to switch into some kind of a concealment type panel here to try to cover up some of this stuff, but I don't know yet. We'll see what it looks like. I may end up putting maybe another vent here, diverting the defrost, which it has defrost, which I don't need. I may divert the defrost back down to here and put a couple more vents in. I don't know what's going to happen here, but I just need to get it in first. We're actually getting a lot more done on this truck this year than I had hoped. I mean, last year kind of sucked on it, but we're getting a lot done on it this year. Another thing that's going to be happening is I'll have to start to think about what I'm going to end up doing for a headliner. What I think is probably going to happen is I'll probably wax paper the exterior of the cab off and do an overlay with fiberglass matte and resin along the outside of the cab. Let it hard, do a couple layers, a couple thicknesses of fiberglass. I have matte that's 4 foot wide, so that won't be a problem. Of course it'll be too wide, being it was laid up on the outside of the cab. Then I'll section it in the middle and shrink it up to whatever dimension I need, and that'll take care of the rough area in the back panel. The back panel is the one that is kind of a mofo, and it's just going to end right here. This will all be painted and pretty and everything. I'll just end it right here. I'll actually screw it into this beam here. But anyway, guys, that's where I'm at. Thanks for watching. Bye.